Good morning, all of you. Whether my screen is visible for you,
Yes, sir. Good morning.
shall we start the class?
Yes, sir.
In the last class, we studied the cost output relation in a short run. In this class, let us continue that class, that is cost output relation in a long run. Suppose when they ask the question in your semester end examination, explain cost output relationship without mentioning the time period, you have to write the long run only. Otherwise, they will ask explain cost output relationship in a short run. When you ask to write the cost output relationship in a long run, first you have to write the short run and then aggregation of short run, and you have to draw the additional diagram and you have to complete the answer. Directly, you should not write the long run. First, you have to explain the short run and then long run. If they ask without mentioning the period means, you should write only the long run average cost curve. That is cost output relationship in a long run. Because if they need the short run means, they will, in specific, they will say, explain the cost output relation in a short run. So keep in mind, when you want to explain the cost output relation in a long run, first you should write the short run. After that only you continue the answer for the long run. Last class we studied the cost output relation. What is cost output relationship? Nothing but the construction of average cost. Why? The average cost formula is total cost divided by output. So in the numerator it is cost is there, in the denominator output is there. So when we are having that value, that particular average cost curve will express the cost output relationship. Whichever be, the cost function will be constructed with the quantity employed and the price of the respective input. Based on that only we have to construct the cost function. In that particular cost function, we can deciding number of what to say, business affairs, all the business practices based on the Venkatesh Prasad is raising the hand. Yes, have any doubt? Venkatesh Prasad.
Sir, no, sir, I just skipped.
Okay, let me continue. See, the total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. So average total cost is nothing but average fixed cost plus average variable cost. So first we will construct the average fixed cost. The definition for the fixed cost is there are certain costs in which it will not change along with the output. As the output increases, the costs remain the same. Those costs are called fixed costs. That is why it is parallel to the output axis. You can see in the diagram. When we divide this fixed cost with the output, then it will have a downward sloping curve. Right? It will try to reach the output axis, but it never touches. That is the shape of the AFC. This is in case of average fixed cost. Then one more element that we have to. One more cost is average variable cost. This average variable cost, while constructing, first we should know what is variable cost is. There are certain costs which will increase as the output increases. Those costs are called variable costs. The shape of the variable cost will be upward sloping from left to right. You can see in the diagram, there is one upward sloping VC variable cost. When we divide this variable cost with the output, we can get the average variable cost. The shape of the average variable cost is a bowl shape. Initially, it will decrease and then it will increase. So we are having two costs. One is average fixed cost. The another one is average variable cost. When we plot these two curves in the same graph, we can get average total cost. By adding the average fixed cost and average variable cost, we can get the average total cost. In that, one more curve is there, you can see, that is called marginal cost. This marginal cost sloping outward, it will intersect both AVC and ATC at their minimum point. It will intersect AVC initially and it will intersect the ATC in a later stage. That is why the implication of short-run average cost curve goes like this. The first implication is tell about the average fixed cost. The average fixed cost falls as the output rises from lower level to higher level of output. When output increases, it will come down. The second one is the AVC will fall and then rises, but also the ATC. You can see both the curves, AVC and ATC. It is a bowl shape. The third implication is the AVC curve starts rising earlier than ATC. You can see because MC intersect the AVC first and then it will move. Finally, it will intersect the ATC also. That is why ATC start rising earlier. The fourth point is this particular least cost level of output correspond to the point LC will be on that point. The MC is cutting the ATC. Now that point is the least cost point. Finally, we have to tell about the marginal cost curve. The marginal cost curve will intersect both AVC and ATC at their minimum point. So these 5 implications for the short run. So this particular ATC we consider as SAC1, that is short run average cost curve for the first period. Say example, it is 2016. So for 2017, we have to consider one ATC that is called SAC2. Then we have to construct average total cost for the year 2018, that is SAC3. Likewise, SAC1, SAC2, SAC3, we are considering. You can see the screen. The SAC1 curve for the period of cost output for the year 2015. SAC2, SAC3, SAC4 for the respective year 16, 17, 18 like that. So when we plot these SAC curve in a particular diagram, by keeping the output and the time in the vertical, horizontal axis and average cost in the vertical axis, you can have 4 or 5 SACs. That particular point, least cost point, which is intersected by the MC, when we connect that particular points, we can get a bowl shape curve called long run average cost curve. That green line represents the long run average cost curve. The red curve represents the short run average cost curve for the respective years. So this is a way to construct the long run average. Directly we cannot construct, but keep it in mind, this LAC is considered to be the most important economic tool for business decision. Why? Because there are many other names for this. This is called envelope curve. Why? Because it envelopes all the short and average cost curve. It is called development curve because the business is developed based on the shape of this LAC. This is called business curve. Why? Because based on this shape of the LAC only, most of the decision will be taken. So there are many names for this: business curve, planning curve, envelope curve, development curve. All this represents only a cost output relationship in a long run. So it is a confirmed question, not only the examination point of view. If you are in corporate, you should know how the cost output relation will work in the long run. So there are 5 implications. This is the most important one. Based on this 6 value only, out of that 8 marks, 4 marks only for these 6 lines. Why? Because this is the implication for the cost output relationship in a long run. So the first one is the long run average cost curve is tangential to the various SAC. That is, it connects the least cost point of the each SAC. The second one is the long run average cost curve is U-shaped or looking like a dish. The third implication is the long run average cost curve will never intersect SAC as it makes tangency with it. Suppose it is intersecting, means it is a wrong, the data is wrong, or somewhere we commit a mistake. Something wrong while collecting the data or expressing the data or constructing the cost function. So LAC never intersect the SAC. At that too, we are connecting only the least cost point. It will look like a bowl shape. The fourth implication, the most important thing, the long run average cost curve will touch the optimum scale curve at the later least cost point. That is, It always have a tangency that particular thing. In the right side, it will touch the right side of the least point. In the left side, it will touch the left side. That is why it look like ball. Suppose it touches the minimum point of each means, it will be a straight line. It is not a straight line. It is a bowl shape. Why? Because the left side SAC is like SAC1 and SAC2. It will have the optimum point in the left side of the curve. If you take the SAC3 or SAC4, it will be the right side of the minimum point will be lying on the right side. That is the most important. That is why it look like a bowl shape. The last one is that fifth and sixth most important one. The LAC curve will touch SAC curve lying to the left of the optimum scale for the left of least cost points. Likewise, LAC curve will touch the SAC curve lying in the right optimum scale in the right of the least cost point. That is 4 curve, 5 curve, 6 curve இருக்கும்போது இந்த லெஃப்ட் சைடா இருக்க SAC 1 2ல பாத்தீங்கன்னா அந்த கர்வ்ல இருக்க லெஃப்ட் ஹேண்ட் சைடுல அது டச் பண்ணிருக்கும். இதுவே கடைசி ரெண்டுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா ரைட் ஹேண்ட் சைடுல டச் பண்ணிருக்கும். அப்படி டச் பண்ணாதான் அது LAC. சப்போஸ் இன்டர்செக்ட் ஆனா அது LAC இல்ல. எங்கேயோ தவறு பண்றோம்னு அர்த்தம். டேட்டா வச்சு மேனிபுலேட் பண்ணி அது கரெக்டா பண்ணினீங்கன்னா கரெக்டா வரும். இட் இஸ் மோர் சயின்டிபிக். இட்ஸ் நாட் சும்மா எதுக்காக தியரி இல்லது. It's a practical application of the economic tool in the business. So there will be a question in your question paper about LAC. But the thing is, they will not ask directly. Explain the planning curve. What is the role of development curve? Or what is envelope curve? How you make the business curve? They may ask in a different way, but all these are representing the cost output relation in a long run. So in the weekend, I will share this particular PPT to you. In the weekend, please complete as an assignment. Okay. With this, I'm completing the class. If you have any doubt, you can ask me now. All of you, please write your name with class.